Hello guys and welcome to episode 68 of my Rome 2 Total War campaign with the Iceni tribe. Today we are moving on from our army with the rebels near Phanagoria, and we're going to be heading further on to attack Phasis owned by Pontus. So let's move the Swords of Power on straight away. They just won their battle and they're going to be replenishing this turn, so they should be okay to fully replenish for the next time. We've got Braucus's Vanquishers who are going to have to stay in Phanagoria to deal with the public order, but let's go and have a look at what our agents are doing. So we have Adiatorix near Seleucia. He's going to continue to find more settlements. I'm not sure how many more settlements I actually need to find, because I probably found enough already in order to actually complete the campaign. But it's really strange, actually. I found a Bithynian army in Persia. Now, I don't know if this Bithynian army has come all the way from some lands up here. Yeah, they probably come from Hatra. But I'm not sure exactly what they're doing down here, unless there is some more Bithynian settlements nearby, or maybe they're just at war with Persia themselves. That seems a bit strange to have an army placed there. Anyway, Adiatorix over near Ammonium. He can actually move closer to the border and can continue to convert Libya in the meantime. Then we've got the Burning Men in Camulodunum, the Spear Runners in Seleucid, who are obviously going to have to stay there for public order purposes. Same in Samandar. Then we've got the Consuls of Morrigan. Again, same thing. Braucus's Vanquishers, Phanagoria. Then we've got the Mists of Doom. Okay, so another army that can actually do something this turn. We're at war with the Seleucids. Let's take advantage of that and attack Jerusalem this turn. This is what I had planned. Doesn't look like there's much defending it. Should be ours very easily. So we're going to be fighting against Levy Pikemen, Eastern Spearmen, Eastern Slingers, some Peltas and Mob, and some Persian Light Archers. Should be interesting. Pretty heavily in my favour, but still a significant amount of men to kill. So, going to jump in and fight this one on the battle map. Okay, so we're going to keep it dry so that my ballistas are good to go, and it looks like they've sallied forth to attack me. So we're going to put all my ballistas out in front, and we shall wait for them to come to me. I'm actually going to make sure that my slingers are behind my front line of men. So let's just grab all these guys. We'll put them in a long line, and then we'll get the slingers behind them. And we can actually move the infantry line forwards a bit. Slingers forwards a bit. We'll get the cavalry onto the flanks. They don't have any cavalry, so it doesn't matter which flank we put them on. And then we'll keep the general in the middle. Okay, so let's just go ahead and start the battle. And hopefully, my ballistas should be able to do a lot of damage before they actually get close. So they're all in range. I'm actually going to fire at the big clusters with explosive rounds. And that way we should do a lot of damage. It's actually pretty tempting to fire at the units closer so that it spreads the forces a bit more. That was a nice shot there though, landed right in the middle of the unit. So let's grab the infantry line. We're going to move them forwards. Let's target this Levy Pikeman unit with all three ballista units. That should utterly destroy that unit. You can fire at these light archers. There's a nice clump of men here. They are firing missiles at me. So I'm going to fire my ballistas back. That's going to be a lot of dead men. That is actually Annihilated those guys. Crazy. We've got the mob trying to flank me. Eastern Spearmen going to be engaged by Levy Freeman. I'm going to charge to all of these men. I'm going to get my men to run forwards now and engage. And just so that I don't break the flanks here, I'm going to use these Chosen Spear Band to engage the Levy Pikemen. And then once they do, we can actually get these Chosen Spear Band to go around the back. Now these men are just getting disintegrated by my ballistas. Any units that are left as well are just being annihilated by Levy Freemen, because these are actually like upgraded versions of Levy Freemen, so even the Eastern Spearmen don't stand a chance against them. We're just going to flank them in the back anyway. Going to get these Levy Freemen to chase after the Peltas. And these Chosen Sword Band are chasing after the Eastern Slingers and the normal Slingers. And we've actually got these painted ones taking a lot of damage from the general unit of the enemy, which is, I guess, something that I should have expected. But looks like we're going to be able to mow them down nonetheless. I didn't even use my cavalry because I didn't really have time to. They're all on the left flank and most stuff happened on the right, so they would have been way too far away. I'll stop these ballistas firing now though, because they're getting awfully close to my own men, just like that. Fortunately I have armour, and they do not. Slingers are taking out a few men here and there though. And as long as this unit of slingers just continues to stay on the battlefield, we should be able to run down the rest of the army. But it doesn't look like we're going to have to. They sally forth from a city, so they're going to die even if we click end battle anyway. So we're going to click end battle. Decisive victory. 170 losses for us, 1,533 for them. Break through the base, and Jerusalem is ours. So we're going to actually sack this first,
Ready for battle.
And then we're going to... Actually, let's not capture it for now. It might be worth just sacking it, and then moving on to another settlement. Because in that case, they have to deal with all of the devastation that's caused before I actually go ahead and occupy all of the cities. Now, there will be obviously a regenerated force every time, but if I go around the whole entire Seleucid area and just keep sacking all their cities, that will bring up the sacking that I need for the victory conditions, and then I can go ahead and occupy everything more peacefully, and that will make it easier to hold on to while I move the army on. Because at the moment I'm sacking stuff and occupying it, which is making it really hard to maintain the province's public order before moving on. So it might be worth just actually sacking it again and then moving on to another settlement like Petra. See, we actually have an enemy army here that we can deal with in the meantime. Now, of course, capturing that would have made it able for me to replenish my forces, but they aren't that run down anyway, so it's not that much of an issue. Okay, let's have a look at our other armies. So we went all the way down to the Mists of Doom, then we got the Will of Andrasta. They're heading across this province. I'm actually going to put them onto force march now, so we can get them out of the Rhodos' lands. Now, this is a relatively weak army because there's so many Levy Freemen, but it's still going to be good enough to take over a couple of cities off the Seleucids. Then we've got the Woad Warriors, of course, sitting in Diospolis, and that is about it. Settlement sacked in terms of event messages, and that is all done. Okay, wonderful. So let's just quickly have a look at our victory conditions just to see how far away we actually are. So we need to hold, what was that, 22 more settlements, and we need to sack 16 more. So if I go around sacking a few settlements here, then I can capture them afterwards with, like this army, for example, the Will of Andrasta, and this guy can just continue onwards, destroy all the armies, he can sack all of the settlements and get me loads of money, which is exactly what I need in order to continue upgrading my empire. So I'm actually going to upgrade this goldsmith to a mint because I have the spare money to do so. And I'm going to go ahead and click the end turn button. And we're being attacked by the Seleucids. Now this is going to be interesting because it's actually a more fair fight now. We're getting the garrison army that's sort of half recovered from Jerusalem helping them, which isn't a big deal because it's so run down. Then we've got, what's this? Army is Levy pikemen, Eastern spearmen, Persian light archers, light cavalry, quite a lot of cavalry actually. And then we've got another army, which is more Levy pikemen, Eastern spearmen, skirmishers, peltasts, slingers. It's going to be pretty interesting, and those are scythe chariots probably as well. So we should be able to hold out. I'm going to have to target those scythe chariots pretty early on and a lot of the cavalry with the ballistas, but we should be okay to do so. So let's jump in and fight this one on the battle map. So if we crush these armies, it should make it reasonably easy for us to actually gain an advantage in this theatre of war. So let's bring the ballistas over to this side along with my men. I'm actually going to keep the painted ones out of the front line this time because they are very run down and I don't need to lose any units. I just need to make sure that I hold on as much as possible and sack as many settlements as possible before the enemy actually drives me back. So we're going to line up my men in the middle of the ballistas, which may seem a bit weird, but it's kind of what I need to do in order to make sure that the slingers remain in range when the enemy army advances. I'm going to keep one veteran riders on the right, 2 on the left, and I'm going to get my general unit in the middle. I need to actually remove these painted ones again. Select all these guys and redo them. Okay. And that's our army ready. So we're going to start the battle. The reason I pulled them over to this side, the reinforcements are probably going to come over here. And then we've got one army in front of us, followed by another one behind it. They likely will actually try and group up before attacking, which I don't want them to do because otherwise they will completely overrun me. So it might be worth me actually moving my army forwards, although the ballistas will take a long time. So I'm hoping they'll continue to advance, and then that will give me a chance to actually break down a lot of their forces. So I'm going to turn my ballistas to the correct angle, and then I'm going to do the same with my own men. We get the slingers to come up behind them, and the heroic nobles behind them. Get the horses into position, and now the ballistas are already firing. Okay, so we're going to go with attacks onto these horse skirmishers. We're going to go with shots onto these light cavalry and onto the mercenary Persian cavalry, because these are like heavy cav, which are not something I want to deal with at all. So we see if we can take out a lot of these guys. This light cavalry unit is taking a lot of damage, so I'm going to actually change that target. See what we can do. So the unit on the far left is actually firing at the unit on the far right, which is kind of going to end up being a bit strange. So we're going to get the unit on the far right to fire at the unit on the far right as well.
Orders!
These camel archers a few shots. See, the front line here is a bit scraggly, but we've got the ballistas sitting in the middle of all my men, which is kind of cool, to be honest. I think it looks really awesome. Got a good few camel archers there. I'm actually going to stop these guys firing because they are splitting their cavalry to flank me. So we're going to get the Levy Freemen to line up. Sword band on the flank on this side, which isn't good. So let's engage these skirmishers with the veteran riders. On this side, I'm going to get my veteran riders out of the way and let the levy freemen engage the light cavalry. And then I can charge those guys in the back. So we're going to get the ballistas to actually turn back. We've got the scythe chariots actually coming in the front, which is something that is going to punish them quite a lot because they won't have anywhere to run.
Our general is under attack.
But my veteran riders are taking a lot of damage from the skirmishers, which is annoying me. They're doing very well at splitting their troops and causing my men to die. Hopefully we can get rid of some of these units. The light cavalry is coming around the back and I need to engage them with the veteran riders before anything serious happens. We're actually going to charge forwards towards these units, break our position, try and kill off some of these scythe chariots and get rid of the general. That veteran riders units have just been destroyed by the skirmishers. We've got the veteran riders at the back here, destroying the light cavalry, which is good. These levy freemen aren't doing anything. So let's get them forwards. Charge into these hillmen. We need to get these skirmish actually firing at better units, so let's take out the horse skirmishers on the right. Taking so much damage from missile fire, it's actually pretty ridiculous. So we've got to keep everything engaged. Keep these veteran riders chasing after the skirmishers. We can keep the sword band engaged with these horse skirmishers as well. And then we can actually use these to charge into the back of the levy pikemen at the front here. So a lot of missile fire coming in towards the ballistas. My heroic nobles are actually taking a lot of damage. That's what they're targeting at the moment. We need to get our slingers actually out of the way of that. Get the ballistas firing again, if they haven't abandoned them already. Which it looks like they might have. A lot of them seem to have abandoned their ballistas, which is annoying. Okay, so the heroic nobles are actually going to have to help out these slingers now.
The men are wavering.
Keep our men at the front here engaged. Hopefully we can cause a chain rout. And levy freemen are still engaged with these levy pikemen as well. Chosen spear band having to go at these levy pikemen. We need to basically break out all these men because they're not actually doing anything. They are literally just standing there with the shields up. Okay, let's not get my general too far out of position. We'll charge him into their men to help out. And I'm actually going to get my veteran riders to start harassing their missile forces. So broken through their front line now, and it's left all their skirmishers really vulnerable, which is good for my cavalry to clean up. Straight into these peltas. Keep all the men charging forwards. We've lost like way too many men in this battle, to be honest. But as long as we can kill them all, it won't be in vain. Just got a bit messy, to be honest. I had a nice formation for it, but with the amount of skirmisher units that they had, I maybe should have used my horse units a bit more proactively.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Just hoping my general doesn't die at the moment, because he is very out in the open. Keep all my men charging forward so they continue to retreat, and then I can just keep running them down with the horse units.
The battle is turning in our favor.
These eastern spearmen being annihilated. Some levy pikemen units coming back. Try and fight off my men, but these are my heroic nobles or my general, so they're not going to last very long. The peltas are being ran down. Keep my men chasing after them.
The enemy general is dead.
Get these chosen sword band to help my general out. I think I might just like intimidate these units, just get rid of them. Put all the debuffs on, and that'll be job done. Okay, so we're actually going to continue the battle for a little bit, and I'm going to run down a few more of their men, because I really need to take advantage of this as much as possible so that they don't replenish the armies and come back to bite me in the ass. So this veteran rider unit can actually continue mowing down these guys with the other veteran rider unit, because these ones over here look like they've already got to the edge of the battlefield. Okay. Finish mowing these guys down, and I'll just end it manually.
The oaks are our strength. Veteran riders.
That's a lot of dead Persian archers. Turn round and kill off the levy pikemen as they tried to flee. My chosen spear band following up.
Ancestors honor us.
And that is pretty much job done. So I'm going to go ahead here and quit the battle. Close victory. Certainly was. 824 losses for myself. 2,918 for the enemy. They actually outnumbered us almost 2-to-1 in that battle. I actually lost an entire veteran rider unit, which is a bit of an issue. Because obviously the less cav I have, the less I can deal with their skirmishers in the future. Got a lot of XP for that though. And they did lose a lot of units, which is just as well.
Finding shelter.
So it looks like I actually might have to go ahead and take Jerusalem this turn, just in order to replenish that army a bit better. The Seleucids turning out to be a formidable foe. Sabotage. Myos Homos. Enemy arson. And we got the enemy wounded, trying to assault my patrol. An increase in rank for Coryllos, one of my generals, who is the one just outside of Jerusalem by the looks of things. So let's go into his details and upgrade one of his skills. We're actually going to go for soldier here to give him the plus 20% charge bonus, plus 4% melee attack skill, and plus 4% shots per minute. And we're going to go and take Jerusalem. So again, we've got a pretty much replenished army to deal with, even though we destroyed it again last turn. I'm going to have to go ahead and fight this one again on the battle map, just to make sure I don't lose too many men. So they sallied forth again, and the reason I took this onto the battle map was because I have depleted units, and in auto-resolve the computer likes to kill off your depleted units, so I'd rather that didn't happen. So I'm just going to line up my more elite units at the front amongst my ballistas, and then I'm going to actually put the slingers behind. So the slingers could actually sit amongst the ballistas and the infantry in front, and we get the levy freemen behind just to reinforce where needed with the heroic nobles, and we can get the 2 units of cavalry to sit on one flank. Okay, so we're good to go. Hopefully the ballistas will do a good amount of damage before they get here. So I'm actually going to put them all onto explosive rounds, and we're going to target the general. The general unit is going to do the most amount of damage because it has the highest morale. So we'll see how much that affects their army if I attempt to kill them. That rock actually managed to kill 10 men of this unit here, but now we've got 3 ballista units firing up their general, so can't say they're going to last very long. especially with that amount of ballista fire coming in. Okay, we're actually going to change the target now. Because that unit's too spread out, so we'll let them get back together. We'll start firing at these levy pikemen instead. So that's done a little bit more damage. Didn't kill as many as I had hoped. That should have done quite a lot of damage though. Continuously firing over the top, which is kind of annoying. Now we're going to fire at these slingers and so on because they are going to be really annoying to deal with otherwise.
What do we say? Ballista!
So we're going to target the ranged units with the ballistas.
Artillery stands ready.
And then let them run into my front lines. I have a nice charge bonus on this army, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to charge forwards and take on their men. I'm going to send my general to the right side because it looks like there's an extra unit on that side. And these mob that are charging into the side of my spear band can just get a quick charge from the veteran riders.
Our general is under attack.
Okay, so that broke them off.
Ready for battle! Warriors!
As my men advance, my veteran riders can charge into the back of this centre line. Although it doesn't look like they exactly need to. Let's break off all those. Continue my men charging forwards. Quickly use some more of these abilities. I actually don't use the abilities much because I never seem to need to. But there are some very cool abilities that I could make use of, especially considering they have like high zeal and stuff. It makes the commander have these really awesome abilities like the Fear, which basically crushes the morale of every unit around him. Continue to run down the men. Should use Inspire more as well to make the units that are losing start to win again. Eastern Slingers, full unit of them. They just started to run. So we're going to have to end the battle there. Decisive victory. We lost 28 men. And they lost 1,365. We have been slaughtering men this episode. It's ridiculous. I'm actually glad there's like a significant fight on though. It's really quite fun. When I actually thought I was going to lose against the Seleucids in the last battle, actually made me pretty excited. But either way, that's Jerusalem taken out again. And this time we're just going to occupy it.
Warriors all.
That should make it much easier to sort out and keep for ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and convert all this stuff. I'm actually going to dismantle the hoplite barracks because we don't need a barracks because it's causing negative public order, but we can keep the field, make it into one of our own. And now we have all of this stuff to do, so I don't know why the hell it went to the top of the map. Let's have a look at Adiatorix. Now, since the last update, they have implemented seasons into the game, and you can see this year it's actually winter that I'm going to have to be fighting through, which is really frustrating. Anyway, let's continue on with Adiatorix to discover more settlements eastwards. So, Persia owning Charax, and then we can continue towards the province of Gaul.
That's it.
City of Gaul, actually. Okay.
How can I help?
And that has unfortunately been my time. So, hopefully in the next episode we can continue to push into the Seleucid lands with the help of the Will of Andrasta. And we can replenish this army, the Mists of Doom, and maybe recruit some mercenaries to help out with all of the skirmisher units. So we could actually recruit some mercenary camel spearmen and some mercenary Arabian cavalry to run those units down. Anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. I've actually had a lot of fun with this one because of the amount of battles that were involved. Hopefully you liked that too. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.